Hello there, my name's Tracy Elsom and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based in Canada. Today's Watch on Wednesday project is a very quick box arrangement to put in a little packet of tissues, either for keeping for yourself or for giving as a gift. And I've got this sentiment here from the Thoughts and Prayers stamp set. So we're going to start with a piece of Dapper denim card. It is 6 1/4 inches by 6 3/4, and we're going to start by scoring it on the long side. So remove the cutting blade out of the way and we're going to start scoring at 1 inch. Now this particular Stampin' Up! Trimmer is great because it has a little bit of extended area of board just here, which means rather than having all my card hanging off the end there, I can actually score 1 inch there. Now, so there you go, that's the 1 inch. Then I'm going to score it at 3 1/8, 4 1/8, and 6 1/4. Get it lined up. And there we go. Turn it around so that the narrow strip is at the top. Then I'm going to score at 1 inch, and then turn it around and score it at 1 inch. So that's all the scoring done. Now I just need to make a little mark on here. I want to trim, this is the wider section. We've got the very narrow piece there. On this wider section I want to cut this square on the corner, on each of those corners, in half. So I'm just going to mark them with a little score mark there, just at 1/2 inch, and I'll do the same on this one. So I'll line it up with the 1/2 inch mark, which is just here, and let's do that one. So I have a couple of little marks there. I'm going to cut through those so that it makes it easier to close the box. So let's start by just chopping those pieces off. So I've gone straight through there, and I'm going to go all the way to the end. And then on these squares, these lines, I'm just going to cut straight up. I'm going to go a little bit of a notch just there into that square in the middle, just to make the box close more neatly. And then these rectangles on the end, they come off entirely. And then you just repeat that on the other side. So take that one off. Cut straight down those ones, notch in, and cut that little one off on the end. Okay, so that's done there. It's not very straight. Let's just straighten it out a little bit. Okay, so there's the box that we have to start. Now what I'm going to do is just fold along the scored lines and just sharpen those creases with a bone folder. It will help the next step. So fold it over, sharpen the creases, and then just go round and do all of these ones. This box comes together really quickly. It's a lovely box because it holds itself shut. So there we are, there is our box. Now, because Stampin' Up! No longer have a corner punch, I'm going to use the reverse punch on my envelope punch board, and I need to punch just round a few corners. So we have the narrow flap, so that one gets rounded. So I'm just going to tuck the end in, stick that in there and give it a punch, and do the same on the other side. Give it a punch. This one, same thing, turn it in and punch it. Now I want to get these corners and it's a little bit of a hassle, so bring that one back, bring that one back, fold that under. So now I can access these corners. There we go, and that's just rounded those corners off nicely. Okay, so that's the box essentially done. This piece here, this larger flap with the extra wide rounded ends, that's the front, this is the top. So I have some pieces of card. I have some very vanilla card to get the right pieces, and I'll put all the measurements on my blog, but basically I had a piece of card that shape. I cut off 3 strips, and then I cut that piece, took a little piece out the middle, but basically that's how it lays out, which means you get much easier to get the pieces that you need from a smaller piece of card. So I'm basically just going to come in with my multi-purpose liquid glue. As I said, this one next to the fat end there, for want of a better word, is going to be my top. So I'm just going to stick that into place, press it down, and then these long narrow pieces, there's 2 of those. These are 7/8 of an inch wide by 4 1/8. So I'm going to put one in the centre, and the other one goes on this flap. Okay, it's the only other place it can fit. So there we are. So that's those pieces. And then the small ones go on these ends. By putting these on now, it helps me remind me which pieces are the front and the visible pieces and which are the ones to tuck inside. So there we are. So that's just very vanilla card. Now I have some pieces of designer series paper. This is from the new True Gentleman designer series paper pack, and I did exactly the same thing. I cut a piece of the DSP, cut myself some strips, and then that little piece came out of the middle, and the rest I can use. So again, exactly the same, just use a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue to attach those to the mats. Obviously got a little bit of glue on my fingers there. Okay, that one goes in there like that. Another small one. And then the 2 long ones. Oh, that looks like that's run out. Let's get a fresh one. There we are. That one. And that one. Okay. So basically that's the layout of the box. So all I need to do now is to come in with some tear and tape, and I'm going to put the box together. So first of all we need a little bit of tear and tape on these centre flaps here. Could use fast fuse if you wanted. Do it that way. I'm not life difficult for myself. There we go. Piece like that. And then we need some. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to put that one there, that comes in, and then that's going to go over the top. So let's put some tape on the top of this. There we go, and the same on the other side. Okay, so that's that. We'll take the backing off these pieces of tape. And this is the last one. The piece with the designer series paper is the last piece to be put together. So we're just going to bring that round and we're going to match up these two edges. Press that down. Do the same on the other side. So again, tuck it in, bring that over and press it down. Now we can do these long ones. Take the tape off, bring that round, and you're just going to match up those edges. Comes together really, really simply. And that last one, again, I'm going to bring that in. Just bring those edges together. So there is the box. Okay, so I've designed it, as I said, to fit some little pack of pocket tissues. That little flap folds up, and then these tapered ends just fit round, and you can see the box holds itself closed. It doesn't need any ribbon. It's just a nice little box. Okay, so with the box done, we can think about the sentiment. If I can find my piece of, there we go, a little bit of very vanilla card there. I have some Dapper Denim ink, and I actually only want the Get Well Soon, so I'm going to just ink up that part of the stamp. But I'm always a little nervous. I've possibly just caught the bottom of the rest of the sentiment on the ink pad. So what I do is, just to make sure there's no chance of any ink getting onto my sentiment, I've just covered the rest of it with a piece of sellotape, and I can stamp it down, and you'd never know that it was a part of something else. Now I'm going to come in with this punch, and we'll punch out. There we go. We'll punch out that sentiment. And I'm going to use a couple of Stamper Dimensionals to fix that on the top. There we go. I think that's roughly in the centre. There we go. And then to finish it off, a nice little piece of copper trim, tied it into a little tiny bow. So we'll put that just there. Mini glue dot. Stick my little bow on top and grab my scissors and trim it off. So there we are, cute little box, really simple opening. Use it for lots of different things, but I love it because it holds itself shut without any need for anything else. I hope that's been fun. I will get the measurements and all the instructions, the diagrams, onto my blog so that you can follow along if you want to copy this project. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.